Now, are you considering a move out to California? If so, you've come to the right place because I've actually lived all over California and until my wife and I finally moved back to San Diego to settle down in 2014. But not only that, I actually work with clients from all over the US when they're moving to California. So I understand exactly what expectations they have, what expectations fall short, the challenges they have, and that's exactly why I put this video together. All the things that you need to know in the research stage figuring out whether you want to move to California or not. My name is Dan Parker. I'm the San Diego real estate guy, and like I mentioned, I help people from all over the US buy and sell homes right here in San Diego. So if that interests you, or if you want some more information on moving to San Diego, feel free to reach out. My contact info is down below. So what exactly do you think of when you think of California? Probably, earthquakes, high cost of living, beaches, weather, that we put avocado on everything. Well, we do put avocado on everything. It's pretty good. But let me go ahead and break it down to all the tips and tricks and everything that you need to know before considering a move to California. So make sure to either stay until the very end or just check down in my description below. I'm gonna include my favorite resource for researching specific cities, counties, neighborhoods. It'll tell you all the different crime stats, the schools, the walkability, everything that you need to know about a different area. I'm gonna include in this video for you so it can help you with your research. All right, let's get right into the things that you need to know. Starting off with, and this is very important, you really need to decide whether you want to be in Northern or Southern California. Obviously, you're gonna need to break it down into the exact county, city, neighborhood, but starting off, there's a very big difference between Northern and Southern California. And you kind of need to pick a side. And the cutoff between Southern California and Northern California is, I'll be honest, it's a little bit ambiguous, but let's just go ahead and stick with the big metro areas. San Francisco, Silicon Valley, North is going to be Northern California, and Orange County, LA, San Diego are all going to be considered Southern California. And probably the most salient difference between Northern and Southern California is going to be the weather. So the weather in Northern California is generally going to be a little bit gloomier, a little bit colder. You're going to get more rain. There's some areas that snow. And in Southern California, it's generally going to be warmer. It's closer to the equator. It's a warmer climate. Some other notables for Northern California is it has a booming technology sector. So if that's the line of business that you are in, then there's gonna be a lot of opportunity up in Northern California. And number two, transportation is great. Most notably in San Francisco. My wife and I lived in San Francisco after we got married, and we didn't even own a car for the first year and a half. In Southern California, you have that nicer weather, like I mentioned. You have the beaches are generally going to be a lot nicer than they're going to be in Northern California. Just miles and miles of white sandy beaches in Southern California they can go hang out in, enjoy that nice weather. And the other thing to note is the Mexican food. Mexican food is a thousand times better in Southern California than it is in Northern California. And the next thing is the cost of living in California. The main thing to know about the cost of living, the reason why it's so expensive, is because of the housing prices. That's where a lot of the cost comes in. That flows through obviously to rents and everything else. But the cost of living is expensive because of the housing. And the average house in California, or the median home in California, is $521,000, whereas the median home across the nation is $231,000. And then when you actually get into the big metro areas, San Diego, San Francisco, it's going to even go up from there. Again, that's the median home, so you can get cheaper homes than that. You can definitely get more expensive homes than that. But the cost of living as far as housing it's pretty high. So if you're on a budget, the reality is you may need to sacrifice a little bit from what you want in a house. It may need to be a little bit smaller. You may need to go down to a townhome or a condo. And then the actual styles of homes in California, there's not a ton of variety. You're not going to see a ton of colonial homes or farmhouse style homes. It's going to be a lot of ranch style homes throughout California. So obviously there are exceptions to that, but that's the general rule is to keep in mind a lot of ranch style homes in California. And if your goals are to live right on the beach, I hope you have a big budget for that because it is not cheap. That real estate is extremely, extremely expensive. So again, even if you have a big budget, you still may need to sacrifice a little bit on what exactly you're looking for. The reality is if you want, it's not that difficult to be within a 15-minute drive to the beach, but if you want to be on the water, like right on the beach, you better be ready to pay a good amount of money for that. Another thing to note that I think is pretty interesting is you will not find basements in California. And they basically just don't exist. And I talk to people all the time that are moving to California and they want a home with a basement, and you're not gonna find it. You won't get a basement out here. And the next thing worth mentioning is a lot of the main cities in California are gonna be, people would consider them to be overcrowded. There's a lot of people, but California is still a very rich place for nature enthusiasts and people that like to be outdoors. There are national and state parks, beaches, hiking, mountains, skiing, snowboarding, camping. There's all sorts of outdoor activities, and there's a lot of outdoor space. The next thing to know is taxes are high in California. So if you are a high earner, if you have employees, expect to pay a sizable amount of money to the local state government every single year. Now, technically, property taxes are below the nation average as a percentage, but because the property prices are so much higher, it's still going to be a pretty substantial amount of money every year that you're paying to property taxes. But one of the benefits there is if you live in a house for a long time, then the rate that the property tax goes up is not even close to, well, historically has not even been close to the rate that the housing prices have gone up. So if you live in a house for 20 years, your property tax is going to be significantly lower than someone buying the house right next door to you. And next on this list, there are some hazards associated with living in California. You have wildfires, mudslides, and earthquakes. Now, who knows when the next big one, the big earthquake, is gonna hit California, but wildfires, man, they happen every single year. It seemed to be really bad this year. In fact, right now in California, there are some major fires going on. Most notably is the glass fire in Northern California in kind of Sonoma, Napa Valley area. It's prompted thousands of evacuations of local residents in the area, and it's still going. It's still going right now today. The next thing to know is you are gonna need a car, and there are some notable exceptions. There are some areas of California where you can actually get around without a car, especially depending on what your needs and wants are. But for, I would say, at least 95% of people that live in California, you're gonna need a car to be able to get around and get things done. And another big expense that's significantly higher than other states is gas. Gas is really expensive because it's taxed like crazy in California. In fact, over the last 6 months, the average price of gas in California was 30% higher than the nation average. And the last thing to know about living in California is your friends, they're gonna visit. They're gonna really wanna visit, because let's be honest, California is a desirable place to be. So your friends are actually gonna come out and visit you. They're gonna at least want to come out and visit you the second they find out that you're moving to California. So you can anticipate your friends coming out and hanging out with you in your new favorite place. All right, so again, if you wanna learn about various cities, neighborhoods, counties throughout California, go to bestplaces.net. That is my resource, or the resource that I go to is absolutely free. It's not even run by me. It's just an online resource that will give you it'll break down all the different statistics. So when you're doing research, you can find out a ton of information about different areas. Now let me know, what questions do you have about moving to California? Put it in the comment section below. I'm definitely gonna make another video on this topic because there's way too much to fit into one video. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff that I missed here, but please let me know what your questions are down below. And if you have suggestions for the next video I should make, I take those too. I take those all the time. I make this content, I make it for you. So what your suggestions are, I will absolutely take that into account. And lastly, if you are looking to make a move to California, reach out. My contact info is down below. I can either help you directly if you're considering San Diego, or I can get you in touch with my trusted agent network throughout California. So I'm happy to do so either way. I just want to make sure that you have all the resources that you need to be able to make a good decision. And one last thing, if you like this video, hit the like button down below, subscribe to my channel. I would love if you would do either or both of those things. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.